Hi guys, it's been a while since I've done any updates on myself. So this is going to be a kind of overall um, what I've been through in weeks 4, 5, and 6 post-op after having the DS. So very quickly, let me go and go over my little stats. So I had the Biliopancreatic diversion with Duodenal switch with Dr. Bovard on June 17th. I had it in Cary, Wake Med, North Carolina. My starting weight was 335, and that was in March. My surgery weight was 317 pounds, and as of this morning, I weighed myself and it came up to 270 pounds. I haven't seen that number in years, so I was very excited this morning. So since surgery, I've lost a total of 47 pounds. Yay. Total lost, and that's since weighing 335. I have a total lost from March till now. It's July 29th, I believe. I lost a total of 65 pounds. That feels so great to say. So I have returned back to work, which is why I haven't been able to make my videos, just because I've been extremely busy. And then when I come home, I'm exhausted. So, making videos is not in my plan after I come home to work. So, of course, I have to get myself together in the weekend, and then that is going to be my focus. In fact, I think that from now on, I'm going to make a monthly update instead of, of course, weekly, because I have fallen off the wagon doing weekly updates, and I have not been able to get on. So, and also, I think, I have finally bought myself a scale, which is why I was able to take my weight this morning. But I think that, if I weigh myself every week, it's going to be a little torturous, especially, if, I have a stall, which I think I actually did have. Because I bought the scale last week, and I was 274.3, and that was last week. And then Thursday, I was at still 274, and then I don't know what happened, because it's been very hot here in North Carolina. We have been through the hottest week of the summer. It's been horrible. So I wasn't really able to work out, but I did go work out on this Friday. I did go work out, and because it's hot, I don't want to eat, and I've been just thirsty, so I've been focusing on my drinking. And so this morning I was at 270. So I guess that did it. I'm just hoping that I'm past the stall. Fingers crossed. So yeah, but like I was saying before, I think I will become obsessed with weighing myself, and I don't want to do that, because I don't want to take the main reason why I'm doing this, which is health. Yes, seeing the number drop is a great booster and such a great feeling to see numbers that, I haven't seen in years. I mean, seriously, I have been married. My wife and I have been married for 12 years. And the last time I was 270, I think it was, let's see, because I was a big guy when I got married. I believe, 240, when I got married. So I think 270 was like year one of our marriage. Yeah, I think it was, we had our first year anniversary, and I was about that weight. So, yes. So, it's been a long time. Let's see. So, what have I been feeling and, dealing with weeks 4, 5, 6. Like I mentioned in the very beginning, I started to go back to work, and I have been feeling exhausted since going back to work. Of course, I'm now taking my vitamins. So of course, everybody, like I have some friends who've had gastric bypass. Another friend who's had, what is it called? The little ring around her stomach, but of course he doesn't take any vitamins. But my, R&Y folks, they do take vitamins. And, they're all talking about, have you had the energies from the vitamin? No, I have not. I think energy-wise, I feel the same like I did before taking them. In fact, the only thing that I'm feeling from vitamins is a lot of nausea. And, of course, they're like, well, take it with food. It doesn't matter. If I take it without food, I get nauseous. If I take it without food, I'm nauseous. It just doesn't matter. I'm just, every time I take them, I'm nauseous. And the multivitamin, I hate the taste. I hate it. I hate just the texture, crunching it in my mouth. Just, at one point in the very beginning, after surgery, I missed crunching on stuff, right? But let me tell you what, guys, I just want something I can just swallow, because I can't. This thing, just crunching alone makes me gag. I don't like it. I hate it. And then the calcium, I have to take, what is it? So I take those 3 to 4 times a day. And those are coconut, and it's okay. I just, the aftertaste kind of sits in my tongue. I love coconut. But of course, this does not taste like coconut. It's coconut with some. And so that little aftertaste just stays in my tongue, and that gets me. And, I have to do that one 2 hours after the multivitamin. So, just as I feel like my body's getting over the nauseousness from the multivitamin, then I get this one, and then I have a little bit more queasiness going down with it. So those are my woes with my vitamins, but I'm doing good. At first, I was kind of, I had a hard time remembering. And then, of course, I know there's, bunches of you guys out there that put, little alarms on the phone and alerts, and I don't want to. I don't. I mean, I got so much alerts on my phone, it's just ridiculous, and, I just don't need one more. So I do have to say, though, because I know this is very important, please don't slap my hand, please. I know it's important. I do have to say that after after passing that initial week, so by week 2, I was on point. And of course, thanks my wife, to my wife Erica, because she's on me about taking them. So whenever, I'm into a movie or something like that, and I'm just not thinking, she'll be like, did you take your vitamin? And then I'm like, oh yeah. Or sometimes if she says, did you take your vitamin? I can smile and say, I sure did. So it's the little things in life. So I've been, battling some nauseousness with my vitamins. Now, with returning back to work, I took 4 weeks off because, as many of you know, I had laparoscopic DS surgery on the 17th. However, I developed complications the day after, and then had to have open surgery to fix the complications, and that just developed into more complications. Many of you know I was almost lost my life with that second surgery. I stopped breathing. My lungs collapsed. They couldn't get me to breathe. I was on life support for 3 days, or 2.5, almost 3 days. I was in ICU for a week. So, after going through all of that, I gotta keep it together or my wife will kill me. But, so where I was going to was returning to work. So, I took 4 weeks off because of all the complications and everything that had happened. Now I'm in the medical fields in dentistry. And so when you work in dentistry, of course, you know, you have the patient that's in the chair in a supine position. So, you know, you kind of have to kind of scrunch down or kind of, you know, kind of look down and, you know, without even wanting to, you, first of all, contract your muscles. Also, you kind of bent forward a little bit. So I still have internal sutures that won't dissolve 8 to 10 weeks, you know, after the surgery. So they're still there. And so I had the worst soreness these last couple weeks, to the point where, you know, the first week was horrible, just horrible soreness. Let's see, whenever I would turn or something like that, I can just feel, it's almost like I can feel the pull of the sutures in my core. It was just awful. And then, of course, at night, when I would try to sleep, you know, I would feel the pain on that, especially the right side where everything is connected and all that stuff. So that was tough. And I'm not a back sleep, like I'll start off to sleep on my back, but eventually I prefer to sleep on my sides, okay? So, you know, I would have a lot of discomfort. I would find myself waking up a lot just because I can feel the soreness. And, you know, I did have some Tylenol 3, you know, with a hydrocodone. And I can still feel it. It was tough, but that's getting better. Let's see, what else? Definitely getting many compliments. Like, people are really seeing it. Of course, you know, the first thing they always say is, I see it in your face. You know, because I think with everybody, you know, you first start to lose in your face, and then it kind of trickles down. But now I'm to the point where it's trickling down. I can kind of see my collarbones. This is something very simple, but for me, it means a big deal. I can see, like, my wrist bone. I can see that. I wasn't able to see this little wrist bone in a long time. I'm able to wear a lot of clothes. In fact, today, you know, went to church, and I'm at that this awkward stage between sizes. But I was able to wear, and, you know, this is men's size. So, you know, women, you guys are like, oh, he's huge still. I am. I've got a long waist. But, you know, men's size pants or slacks. I was able to wear size 44. Mind you, I was a size 53. Okay? So, wow. I could not believe it. My dressy shirt was a, what was it? Was a 2X, but it was a big 2X. So I think in about a week or so, I'm going to be able to do 1X. I was 4X before. So I'm shrinking, and, you know, today I got a lot of compliments in church as far as not just the face, but the body. They're like, oh my God, your body. Like, well, they didn't say your body, but they're like, you're so small. And that made me feel good. I wanted to give a shout of praise. Thank you! Just because, you know, it hasn't been that way in a long time. And when it has, you know, when you've been big for a long time, you know, you kind of shy away. You hide. Even inside your clothes, you hide. I would always wear black, even to church. And I would try to wear as much black as I could. And, you know, I would always try to never engage in a lot of talking. Not unless it was, you know, somebody that I knew for a long time and felt comfortable enough. But, you know, if there's somebody new in church or so, I just, you know, I was not good at that. I would, you know, always try to leave as fast as I could, excuse me. So now I feel myself kind of coming out of my shell a little bit more. I feel a little bit more confident. I feel that like it's building up, and that's wonderful. With work, it's funny because, you know, of course I wear medical scrubs. So I don't have small scrubs. I have the same scrubs that I always wore, and they're huge. They're huge. And then, of course, you know, scrubs are very expensive to buy, and my wife was like, well, maybe we need to go and get you some scrubs. But I'm hesitant because I'm losing so much weight. I think it'll be a waste of money to, buy a 2X, and then in a couple weeks, I'll probably be a 1X, and still everything's fitting pretty big. So I'm kind of hesitant. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. I think I'm just going to suck it up and just hold on to the big scrubs. I also wear not just a scrub, but I wear my lab jackets. So when I'm doing, operative on patients, and when I say operative, I'm not saying brain surgery. When I'm, assisting with fillings and extractions and all that, we wear, it's part of our PPE or personal protective equipment. So we wear this long sleeve jacket, and it goes all the way from literally your neck all the way down to your knees. And so that's still a 3X actually, because they run kind of big. So now it's super big. So I'm having some patients who, they see it in my face and, but no compliments on the body just because, again, everything's so big. So, and even my coworkers. But we always have like get-togethers outside of work. So we haven't had one yet, where I can wear regular clothes and then they will really be able to tell. So I'll be excited when we have one of those. But no, right now I'm at that point where I'm just getting comfortable with my new anatomy. So I'm getting comfortable with, not being able to eat like I used to eat before. I'm getting comfortable with maintaining a drinking schedule with, in fact, excuse me, because it's about that time. I can tell because I'll start to kind of feel a little dry. So I know, okay, let me take a sip. So excuse me. Now this is water, but I have some lemon iced tea Crystal Light. So don't be like, what is that? Is that sweet tea? No, ma'ams and sirs. This is just iced tea, Crystal Light. So no sugars, no carbs, only 5 calories, and it's really good. Lemon iced tea. I bought the lemon iced tea. I bought the fruit punch which tastes just like Hawaiian punch, so I guzzle that down real quick. And then the pink lemonade. I really, really, really wish they made a strawberry lemonade because strawberry lemonade is my favorite of all lemonades. So I always try to look and find, but if any of you guys know of something like Crystal Light in the strawberry lemonade, please send me a message because that's my all-time favorite. So, like I was saying, I am getting used to the fact that, new stomach, how my digestive system works. So I'm getting the hang of it. I do have to say, I think my stomach is healing very well because I find myself, how can I say, like I feel like so 4 ounces has been the most that I was able to eat. I think I'm able to do 5 because my wife made some lentil soups with tofu in it, which is very good. And yeah, I know you guys said, no, you messed it up. You just said tofu. Guys, believe it or not, tofu tastes really good and it's all about the seasoning. And when you make a soup, tofu it's almost like a sponge, not texture-wise, so please don't think that tofu, the texture is like a sponge. But I mean in the sense of it sucks up whatever seasoning you put on it. And if you put it in a soup, it's going to taste just like the soup. So my wife made some lentil soup yesterday, and she threw in some tofu in it. We love, even when I was big, I love tofu, believe it or not. So she threw some tofu in there, and it was delicious. It was very good. So we had that. And so, I think I had about 5 ounces of that, because it didn't look the normal amount that she normally gave me. And, she brought it up and said, well, we were watching movies in my room. And, she said, well, just eat some now and then just save some for later. Well, I was able to eat the whole thing, and I didn't have any stomach aches or anything like that. It wasn't, I felt full. I felt the tightness in my stomach, but it wasn't like overly like, oh my God, I think I overate. No, it felt normal, that normal tightness. And it was just right. It was just right. So I think that I'm doing a lot of healing. I do have a struggle. I have to confess, I have a struggle. And it's not with cheating as far as, foods or anything like that. Is drinking after eating. So, they always tell you 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after is when you drink. And overall, I do pretty good. But, okay, for lunch yesterday, I bought some tuna steaks. So my wife made some, we had some butter lettuce. So she put them on, she put 1, 2, 3, about 4 little leaves. And baby butter leaves or lettuce are very small, they're not that big. So she took some tuna and of course sliced it up into little chunks. And she put it on there. And I love beans. I'm Puerto Rican and I love beans. I grew up with them. So we had some red kidney beans that she made. And so she put the tuna and then she put some red beans over it and then some Parmesan cheese over all of that. It was fantastic. And, what I do is I can easily, kind of wrap everything up and eat it that way. But the chunks were pretty big, so what I did was it was like I can hear the nutritionist saying in my mind, eat the meat first, or no, eat the protein first, and then if there's room, eat the vegetables. So that's what I did. I started eating the tuna chunks first, then I had the beans, and then the cheese. And then, I was able to roll up the leaves and then crunch it down that way. But towards the end, as I was getting full, I just felt like, it was stuck. And, I've been doing really good on chewing, but I just felt like I just needed a drink. So I took a sip, and it just helped everything kind of settle down, and it was fine. It was fine. Now, I'm not taking gulps, like I did before. It's just little sips. And I've been doing that, here and there. Of course, I try to consciously wait the 30 minutes, but sometimes I feel like, depending on what I eat, I just need that little push, and it really helps. And again, I take a little sip, but I do struggle with that. And then I also think, like, when we have soup, I love soup, and my wife makes great homemade soup. She just buys all the ingredients and makes it herself. And like, how you eat, how you gonna eat soup when you have, you have everything together? And I know the answer is, well, you eat what's inside of the soup first, and then you leave the broth to the end. But see, you eat soup with I do, with a spoon. So you're getting both. So, I applied that to, like, yesterday. I was like, well, I'm just going to take a little sip. And I did, and it was fine. It was fine. So I'm going to keep doing that. If I'm eating something where I feel like, oh, God, I just need for it to go down, I'm just going to take a little sip. And it just helps me. And it helps, to me, I feel like it helps take any air bubbles that are in there out and push it up so I can burp. It just makes me feel better. It does. I've always struggled with that. Even before, when I was pre-op. When I went initially with the nutritionists, they were saying how we had to learn, to not drink, while eating. And then 30 minutes before, 30 minutes, I mentally struggled with that. And I think I carried that over to post-op. And I've been sipping here and there. But again, I'm not gulping, so it's not like I'm just chugging it. I'm not doing that. I'm just the smallest little sip, and I'll do like maybe 1 or 2, and then take whatever I'm drinking, kind of put it off, and then wait for the time. So don't think that I'm just chugging and eating and chugging. I'm not. So that's that. I don't know about you guys, and I don't know if it's normal. So, at the end, let's see, so I'm at the end of 6 weeks, and I find like I'm hungry a lot. And, I hear a lot from folks who say, well, after surgery, I'm not hungry anymore. I have to force feed. Well, when I was in the hospital, and I don't know if it was just my body trying to grab nutrients, I don't know. But I was starving all the time. I was, and my stomach just would growl. And of course, the nurses loved it because to them, that meant that things were moving around in there. So that has not gotten away. So yeah, I'm hungry all the time. And then I'm like, well, maybe I'm just thirsty, so then I'll drink. But I'll drink, and then in a few minutes, I'll say about 10, 15 minutes, then I feel hungry again. And then Erica, my wife, is like, well, maybe it's just head hunger, maybe it's just anxiety. I'm like, for what? We're just watching a movie or just watching TV. What, And I also notice it when we go work out. I get hungry so much. Like right after, it's like my body's like, ugh. So I don't know if I have to increase my caloric intake right now. Honestly, guys, I'm at maybe 500 to 800 max calories I'm taking. So I don't know. Maybe that my body's just, trying to let me know, hey, you're working out. Feed me some more. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But I feel like I'm always hungry. And again, it's frustrating. I'm going to go into what frustrates me about this because, I get this starving sensation. And then when I go eat, I get full like that. I mean, so fast. And I hate it because I'm like, something looks so good. And I just can't. I can't. So I just, put it for later. But I think that's where my old mentality versus my new way of trying to think, I'm having battles. It's like a battle in my brain. Like old Alex wants to tear it up. New Alex is like out of sight, out of mind. And so my wife, she's like, you're like a shark. Because literally I'll start, like I'm having this battle. Like I need a nibble on something. But I'm fighting it. So what I do is I get up and I kind of start walking around. And then I walk around the kitchen. And I'll go around the kitchen and then go back into the family area. And I'll do that, 2-3 times. And then I'll go sit down somewhere. Or I'll come upstairs. And she's like, you're like a shark. You're just kind of circling around. So yeah, that's that. So I don't know. Maybe you guys can give me feedback what you guys have gone through. Do you guys feel like you're always hungry? Especially, like after working out. And I know everybody's workout regime is a little different. Right now, I'm working out just fast walking. I started off slow, but now my wife and I we really go fast. I don't have a pedometer, so I don't know as far as miles and stuff how we go, but we work out about an hour or so, and I live in a pretty big subdivision, and we'll go around it 3 times. But by the time we're done, like we're sweating, and my wife is small and she's sweating, so we keep it fast. So maybe that's it. I don't know. Just give me some feedback, guys. That'll be awesome. I was thinking about my friend, Amy, Princess Truck NC Sips. You were so right. So I think it was week 5. I woke up and I broke out in zits. Like, I felt like I was going through puberty. In fact, I still have some here, you can see. But literally, I woke up. And it's funny because I had just seen the video, Amy's video. And she had talked about that. It wasn't her last video. I think it was the one before her last, if I'm not mistaken, or even the one before that. But like I'll see a video and then, I'll see new videos. But then sometimes I go back to kind of see where I'm at, and then kind of compare. And I remember her talking about, acne. And oh my God, I woke up and I had one here. I had one in my nose. My nose, y'all. My nose. And I had 2 on this side. And then I had 2 more up here. Oh yeah, right here, around this area. And I was like, oh my God, what in the world? Puberty. I'm 35, y'all. Why am I breaking out? And no, it's not onset adult acne. Because I didn't have any issues with acne for years and years and years and years. So I know, Amy was saying that as your body starts to use up the fat stored, it releases hormones, and I guess that's what happens. And I guess I'm releasing hormones. I'm in puberty again, I guess. But yeah, I'm dealing with acne. It's getting a lot better. I mean, again, these are the last two that I've noticed. So it's getting a lot better. But I've been having to really wash my face 1,000 times a day, I feel like, to kind of keep it under control, because it was just too much at one time. And see, I get like red when I get the blemishes, and they're just red, and I don't have the darkest skin, so I don't have the lightest skin either, but you can really see it. So I've been dealing with that. Let's see what else. I feel going back to as far as my appetite, because I've been feeling a lot more hungrier. I feel like my brain has wanted me to, not stick to the diet or to a low sugar, low carb, low fat diet. I haven't cheated. But, well, actually, you know what? No, that's not true. I did cheat a couple times because I took some Cheez-It crackers. And I'm not saying, like, I took a box and I'm talking about, 2-3 little crackers. We buy those for the kids for their snack for school. And I just had to have, a couple. And it was so good. So good. But again, it's not I just did that, maybe about, 2-3 times, in the last couple weeks. So it was not terrible, but because I'm so hungry, like I feel myself wanting other stuff. Because guys, how it is when you're trying to do right and then hunger sets in. And then of course you don't look at what's right. You look at what you shouldn't have. So that's what I've been dealing with. Another thing that I love is, what is those chips? Pita chips. The pita chips. Now I bought some, this brand I've never heard of, but it was in the healthy section, and it's supposed to be less fat than the original pita chips. They're baked, and just, I guess, the way they make them, I don't know. But they're so fantastic. So and again, I know they're high in carbs. So I've been trying to limit, but, gosh, I love them. I love that crunchy, and it has sea salt. So I've been staying away from anything that has salt, but I could not resist with the pita chips. It's been fantastic. Again, it's not a daily thing. And again, I'm not sitting there with a bag and just watching TV as I stuff my face, because I just don't. I just want the taste of it, and then I'm satisfied, number one. And number two, even if I had the bag, I get full so fast that it doesn't even matter. But again, I'm trying to stay conscious on my intake and what I put in my body, because you are what you put in your body, so it reflects on weight and all that stuff. So I've been trying to do better with that, and I'll have my pita chips here and there. I do have to say that I bought 3 different chips that I was, very healthy. I got it from the, extremely healthy portion that nobody, visits on the grocery stores, like the gluten-free area, vegetarian area. All those little, that and Food Lion, they kind of combine them together. But I bought some bean chips. So they look just like Doritos, and they were ranch style bean chips. They were extremely delicious. They were very good. I had some quinoa chips, and to me, quinoa chips taste like Pringles. They're very airy. They're very light. Very good. And then I had kale chips. Now, my wife and I made homemade kale chips, and very easy. All you do is you get your kale leaves, kale leaves. You throw some olive oil, cut them into pieces, put some little bit of sea salt on them, and just bake them 350 degrees for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or until they're crunchy, and that's it. And they're extremely good. My kids love them. So I saw these kale chips, and they look like Ruffle chips, and they were okay. I actually preferred the homemade kale chips, but they were good. Mind you, I had my friends who are not in the weight loss community. They never had weight loss surgery, and I had them taste all three, and they liked them. They all said, like the bean chips and the kale chips, they were like, it's different, but it's good. It's okay. It's not bad. So that was always good, when someone that's not really trying to lose weight gives you a compliment on the food. And, I'm real good at reading folks. So you can say one thing with your mouth, but I look at, I guess, I don't know. I can just tell if you're telling me the truth. I look at body signals and, what you do with your eyes or how you say it, the tone of voice you use. So I felt like they were being very genuine with me and saying that very genuinely. So that made me feel good. And again, they were very good. I wish I would have saved the bags, because the bags were little, of course. They weren't, your normal size. So what we did is we just kind of put them in containers. And then when I would go to work, I would put them in little Ziploc bags and then take them like that. So I didn't save the original. Maybe if I get them again, I'll show you guys what they look like. But again, they were bean chips. And they look just like Doritos. The color and everything looked like Doritos. They were the quinoa chips, and they look just like pita chips, but they taste like Pringles. They're very airy, very light, very good, easy on the stomach. And then the other one were kale chips, and the kale chips are green, but they look like the Ruffle Lays, but green. And they were very good. My favorite were definitely the quinoa, and then the bean chips, and then the kale. So yeah, very pleased with that. So yeah, I mean, things been going good. It's always a learning curve. I'm trying, every day I try to kind of keep my mind on my goals. Because sometimes you do get frustrated when you like I've been through this before, and I have mentioned it. Sometimes I just want to eat, y'all. I do. I feel like that old mentality wants to come out, and of course my body's like, no sir, you can't. And especially with something that's really good, I just want to be able to eat a lot of it, and I just can't. So, I think it was the beginning of, or the end of week 5, beginning of week 6, I had a couple days of woes where I just was a little frustrated because I just couldn't indulge, per se. And I think that's also go hand in hand with the way, I viewed food, the relationship I had with food. I can't do it now. I can't view it the same. I have to break up with it, if you will. Before I had no control, so I lived to eat. Now I eat to live. So I have to eat because I have to power my body. Whereas before, I didn't care about powering my body. All I cared about was what I put in my mouth. So it's a humongous difference, and sometimes you battle with that. So I've been dealing with that, but I think I do good. I mean, I have my moments, but I do good. I really do. I don't ever give in. My wife made the kids today some macaroni cheese. That's a kid staple, and I wanted some so bad. It smells so good, and it wasn't even the homemade. For Thanksgiving, we make killer macaroni cheese. Like, I have a killer recipe that I make, and it's fantastic. Not good at all, but it's fantastic. So it wasn't even that. It was just today she made just a regular Kraft macaroni cheese for the kids, and I wanted to tear it up. I did. I just looked at it, and my wife was like, "No," and I was just like, "Please, just one." But that was my moment. I got it out my system. I kind of tried it as far as try to get it. My wife blocked me, and I was okay. I got it out my system. Bam. And I do have to say, I really appreciate my wife. She is my support system here and everywhere, and she's just fabulous and fantastic. And she knows that once she cooks for the kids, she puts everything away immediately. Because again, I'm a very visual person. And she knows if I see it, I'm going to want it. So she puts it away. And again, those are part of old thinkings that I'm battling with. I didn't get to the size I got overnight. It took years and years and years. So I know it's going to take a while for me to not think the way I used to think and not view food the way I used to view it. That is why I feel this weight loss surgery is a tool, because whenever you have those moments, like literally you can't. There's no way, you can indulge like you did before, because all it's going to cause is pain and sickness. You're going to throw everything up. I thank the good Lord that I have not experienced that. And I am knocking on wood that I won't experience that. I hope and pray to God that He gives me the strength to resist that temptation. So, but yeah, so that's how I'm doing, guys. Again, I'm sorry it's been a few weeks since I've done my last update, but I've been very busy. And again, like I mentioned in the beginning, I am going to, I think, just do monthly updates. Not unless something drastically happens or, there's a breakthrough, and then I may do one, before the month. But I thank you all for your support, your advice, your encouragement. I really do. To those of you who are just now subscribing, thank you so much. You can look at my previous videos from the very beginning. And if you're just starting this journey, regardless of what procedure you're getting done, it's good to see what others have gone through, because with me, it helped me to see what my friends were going through. Because it made sense oh my God, so that's why I feel this way, or okay, so other people are also feeling this way. So it helps you in your journey to see other people's journey. That's what I feel. So that's the purpose why, we all do these videos, is to help each other out. We are like a family. And, for those of you who are just starting out the journey, you're the newbies, you're the newcomers, you're the babies. So we have to take care of you guys in the sense of giving you guys all the information and what we've gone through to help you in your journey. So, and it'll also help us in our journey when we see other folks. So thank you so much. I love you all. I wish you all the best, and take care.